Hello, weebs and normies. Welcome to the Anime Club ReZero stream. Welcome, everyone. Oh boy. Oh boy. You guys aren't upset that we bashed our boy Regulus, right? And our boy Subaru, right? Like, surely not. Surely not. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so welcome. We just want to make sure that, gosh dang it, George, you're not coming through on audio? Oh my word. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We had this set up just a moment ago. I don't understand. Okay, hold on, hold
It's
on.
fine.
I'll make it work. Okay, speak.
Hello, testing 1, 2,
There
3.
it
Can
is.
you guys hear me?
I don't know why it fucking didn't come over, but all right, we got him now. We got him now, boys.
This
It's all
time,
good.
there we go.
No technical difficulties. We fixed it really fast. It's back. Very good. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Let me know how the audio is. If any of us is too loud or too quiet or whatnot, please
Yes.
let us know. George with the audio issues. No, you never saw anything. It never happened. All right. I see a lot of excited people in the chat, guys.
Yes, there's
This
a lot.
is going to be fun. How did you guys like the finale? Hopefully everyone enjoyed. It was super
Yes.
fun. It was very, very fun. Despite
It's fun
a
to
little
do,
bit of
fun to watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Despite a little bit of adaptation, I wouldn't even say problems. It's just like things that maybe could have been done better. Okay? It wasn't
Sure.
that big of a problem.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm going to say right off the top, I have been seeing from the 2 weeks early people and from the public release people, I've been seeing a lot of comments about the whole Regulus is a total fool, and that's why he has been unable to kill Subaru even one time. And I will say, I'm a stubborn man, okay? When I have an opinion, you have to really be convincing to move me from that opinion, right? And I think that's the way it
Sure.
should be. However, I think from a logical perspective, actually, I agree with the argument that people were laying down. I think I generally agree with what people were saying.
Really?
That being said,
I was going to say, how did that change things then, your opinion overall?
it didn't change my opinion when it came to the adaptation. The adaptation still
Okay.
didn't sell me on it, right? Like, I get from a logical perspective, like, you know what? Okay, actually, I get it. Because from a logical perspective, it didn't make any sense, and the adaptation didn't sell it. Now I get it from a logical perspective. It's the adaptation that, like, should have leaned into that. Like, there should have been a whole... I'm going to call this the Lost ReZero Season 3 episode. There should have been an episode that did one that showed that Subaru figured out and kind of started noticing that his attacks are very, like, linear and easy to predict, and he's kind of just like an idiot. He's like, he's a scrub. He's a noob, right? He should have had that kind of moment, because that would have been super fun for the
Sure.
audience to be like, no way, the dude's so powerful, but he's such a loser. He couldn't even hit Subaru. Like, this is amazing, right? That would have been great. And the other half of that episode should have been Subaru recalling, like, you know, he was into, like, the stars and stuff. Like, he should have been, like, recalling, like, I don't know, a freaking YouTube video that he watched about, like, this particular star. And it kind of goes into, like, something about, like, his like the stars around him or whatever it is, like the story of, like, something that could tie in with, like, a clear logical conclusion between Subaru and the wives, right? And it could even be like a scenario, like an A-B plot, where Subaru is trying to think back. He's like, oh, what was it? I'm trying to think. And he's, like, remembering this, like, book he's reading or YouTube video or whatever it is, right? And, like, segments are, like, coming together, but then he's, like, his thought process is interrupted by, like, having to focus on dodging Regulus's attacks and realizing that, wow, he's easier to dodge than I expected, right? And then going back to slowly uncovering the mystery. And then at the end, he could be
Sure.
like something with the wives. He tells, like, Amelia, like, there's something with the wives. Like, you got to go check. It's got to be something with the wives, right? Because since it has to do with, like, some other stars around this star, so it must be something related to that, right? And then you could even have, like, just before he got thrown away, you could even have Reinhard, like, You know how he like out of freaking nowhere, Subaru's like check his heart and see if it's beating. That came from freaking nowhere. You could even have Reinhardt just before he gets thrown away, or maybe as he's getting thrown away, like because like Reinhardt's all over him, right? You could have like Reinhardt like pin him down at some point, maybe, and then notice something, and then we don't know what it is.
Notice no heartbeat.
No heartbeat,
okay.
right? Like if he's got his hand on his throat, he notices like there's no pulse, right? Or on his chest, he's like holding him down. He's like, wait a second. And then as he's getting through, and then later, because like the viewers will be like, whoa, what was that? Like, what did he notice? And then as he's getting thrown away to the freaking moon, he can be like, Subaru, I don't know if this is helpful, but I noticed that his heart wasn't beating when I held him down. And then he's like, well, that's it for me. Bye-bye. And then he's like gone. And then Subaru's like, okay,
See
wait.
you again next time, folks.
Right, exactly. So then he's like, okay, heart plus something with the wives.
What could happen is when he says that to Subaru, that's like the memory that clicks. And I don't know if there's YouTube in the ReZero world. Maybe people can tell us. But he's like, the video. And like he remembers the exact video or something.
Sure. Something like that. And then he can go to Amelia and say, okay, it's something to do with like the wives or his heart or something. So then when she goes to the wives, she pulls out her spirits and she's like, okay, let's check the hearts of these girls just because that's the only lead we have. And then they discover it, and then boom, it all kind of fits into place. Okay? There's the Graham fixing ReZero season 3.
Sure, very good.
So that's what I thought of in the last couple of weeks was something like that. So it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but the concept, the general concept, right?
Yeah. So. You just wanted more signaling.
Yeah, for
than
sure.
there was in the anime. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Very nice.
100%. So
well, we got a fun night ahead here.
Yes, we do.
Got good stuff.
Yes, indeed. We've got a hard stop on time today. George, why do we have a hard stop?
It's my anniversary. That's right. My wife is a total, she's just so incredibly understanding that she's letting me do a live stream for the finale during our anniversary. Yes. I'll make it up to her, don't worry. But it's
so we can give a big shout out to George's wife in the comments for being so gracious and a saint to let George be here on their anniversary.
She understands the hustle, but still, gotta give her props 100%.
Very nice.
Yes. So what do we have on the docket today, Mr. Graham?
Sure. So we've got some cut content that we can look at, and we have two forms of that. We've got a list. Now, we could go through the list really quick, and then we've got a playlist of videos, and we'll probably just go through the playlist of YouTube videos. These are videos that this list, I just want to have the shout out here. The list is brought to us by Luminescence on Discord. Thank you very much for this list. And the playlist of videos has been compiled by Nick, and the videos themselves are made by, let me see here, hold on. By Any News. Any News put these together. We're not going to be able to get to everything. You guys know how we freaking yap. We might have one video in 2 hours. Who knows? So we'll watch as many of these videos as we can. They're sorted in like soft importance. So we'll just kind of start going through them and we'll get through what we get through. But yeah, so that's what we got on the docket today, everybody.
Very good.
At some point, we should probably have a Q&A.
Just like,
just like answer questions from the chat and stuff. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to start with the videos and the cut content, or do we want to start with some questions from the from chat? Do you want us to answer some questions? Whatever you guys want us to do, whatever is most hype.
Congrats on the anniversary. I see a few of those. Thank you guys. Hello, it's 6 a.m. Wow. Some of you guys are staying up late. Some of you guys are getting up early. Thank you for being here.
Reinhardt doesn't always fight in a way where he would start choking someone. He's a knight. 100%. It doesn't have to be exactly that way. It could literally just be him holding him at his chest, right? Like either on the ground or against a wall or something, even just for a brief moment, or even like holding his wrist. and just like grabbing his arm and throwing him, but then realizing something as he's like holding his wrist really tight of like, oh, there's no pulse or whatever it is, right? It doesn't have to be exactly that, but he should discover that there's no pulse at some point, right? That's how we get to him. Cut content first. I'm seeing a lot of cut content.
Cut content first.
Cut content
if
first.
Stories. Yeah, I'm seeing some questions about us doing if stories.
Yeah, we don't have if stories set up.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we don't have like the game plan for that yet, but that's absolutely great stream ideas for future potential ReZero streams.
Future streams.
So absolutely a possibility. So keep that in mind for sure. That would be great. It looks like most people are saying cut content.
Okay, let's do those and let's move on to the videos.
Yeah, should we start
cut content? We can.
Do you want to blow through the list?
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. Let's just. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through the list. I'm gonna send this over to you as well, George, so you can see it. So give me a second, everybody.
Okay.
And so George, I'm gonna see George's pause button go here for a second.
Okay, very good.
Let's see.
There's much less cut content than I anticipated.
Yeah, we'll blow through these really quick. These are less important than the videos themselves, but we'll go through them just to have them. And then, all right, so here we go. So cut content from episode 1. Subaru was taught how to use the whip by the Mather family butler Clind, who is a character that I
know they had a. Yeah, I didn't even know they had a butler. What?
Not shown up before. He can be seen in season 2, episode 25 during the party. He's the blue hair guy with the monocle. I remember seeing a guy with blue hair. I thought he was going to be from like a family, like a different family that would be relevant, but he's a butler, yeah. When giving Subaru the exposition regarding the kidnapped royal family member, Julius gives more of an insight into the dynamic of the Astria family, in particular that Reinhardt was extremely attached to his father Heinkel as a kid, beyond a normal father-son relationship. Plus, he speculates that to prevent Reinhardt from turning against the kingdom, Heinkel was shown favor. And this is particularly important because Heinkel was suspected of being involved in the abduction of the royal family member 15 years ago, making it so he was suspected of the very action that led to his mother dying against the white whale and the crux of Wilhelm's past regrets. Jeez. So he's been like spoiled, basically. Is that one of the reasons why he acts like he does, I wonder?
Maybe. Like you're saying Reinhardt was spoiled?
No, Heinkel.
Oh, Heinkel.
Yeah.
I don't. There's so much. I wouldn't necessarily say mystery, but just so much unknown around their family dynamics. I saw some comments, people saying that I totally, and fair enough, now in hindsight, I can see that I misinterpreted Heinkel. Like he didn't abandon Reinhardt.
He didn't.
I literally.
We just ran with that. We totally ran with that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, like this is how the dots connected in my mind. I know they have an estranged relationship.
Right. While George is talking, like, I'm gonna edit this scene just a little bit while George is talking, so no one freak out.
They I don't know if they've like really fought each other or something or how they, how it went sour. He also has an estranged relationship. Heinkel has an estranged relationship with his own dad. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he wasn't raised right or something, and so now he's like passing those issues on to his own family with his son, and then his wife died, and I thought to myself, oh, like that's like a huge source of trauma. Did he blame Reinhardt for his wife's death? Because like she died in childbirth, and so he like left, and he's kind of appears to be a bit of a drunk. So I'm like, okay, he in my head canon immediately went to like, oh, okay, so he like left and he became a drunk, and he's just like now finally starting to come back into the picture.
George writing fanfic in his head, literally lightning speed in the moment. It's crazy.
Off of like 5 frames.
That's crazy, bro. That's amazing. Random question I'll answer here real quick. Graham, have you seen Konosuba? And someone else says, I hope you guys watch Konosuba. I have seen 1 episode of Konosuba. I absolutely hated it.
Oh boy,
that's gonna not be popular opinion.
You know what people are gonna vote for now? Next premium vote.
For sure. Can you turn down your box? Is at 9 or 8?
It is at 8. I can turn it down to like 7.5. How's this?
Yes, 7 would be perfect. Yeah.
Okay. As long as, if it's still too loud.
No, you should be perfect. That's great. Right. Listen, I'm not saying Konosuba is bad. I'm pretty picky about comedy. I don't like Gintama, which is another unpopular opinion, I'm sure. But we will watch Konosuba at some point. Either it'll get voted in and we'll watch it sooner on the Tuesday slot, or on the Thursday slot. We have 2 major slots. We should really make a graphic about this so people understand.
We should make a graphic and a video about it, yes.
Yes, something. Yeah. But we have 2 slots. We have the Tuesday slot, which is the community slot. That's where everyone votes. And then we have the Thursday slot, which is the TAC slot. That's the one that we choose. So if you want us to watch Konosuba earlier than where we would watch it if we eventually get to it on the Thursday slot, it's got to be voted in on Tuesday. But we'll definitely get to it eventually, whenever it is. So.
And we have random live anime sometimes, but really the other slots almost come down to how available are we? Since we don't do this full time, we gotta... A lot of scheduling things change, and so sometimes we'll be watching more, sometimes less.
100%.
We'll always have at least those 2.
Right. So. Have seen 1 episode of Love is War. I didn't know what I expected when I was going into Love is War, but it wasn't what I got. So I just watched 1 and I was like, this isn't really what I wanted. And so I ended up just leaving it. It's more of a comedy romance rather than anything. And I thought it was a romance anime. So I was like, not romance, not for me. And so I pieced. But we'll probably watch that as well at some point. We have a huge list of anime, and we do it very slowly. Actually, this is probably another unpopular opinion. I actually like the rate of videos that we put out. We could probably pick up a little bit, but I like doing the weekly stuff, so we're not spamming people's subscription feeds.
Not only that, we don't want to burn out.
And we don't want to burn out.
To burn out. Yeah.
Yep, that's another
thing.
Especially
with jobs and a ton of other obligations. So.
Absolutely. And we don't want to burn through all of the anime, so we have nothing else to react to, so we're reacting to BTS.
You've said that before. You know the anime scene much better than I do, but I still find it hard that we'll ever run out. But it's possible, right? You never know.
Yeah, I just don't want to get to the point.
We could run out of the good ones or something.
Right, I don't want to run out of the good ones, and then maybe even run out of the bad anime, and then it's what are we doing now? It's we're reacting to BTS videos or something, because I have a friend who is just you should react to BTS, and I'm we'll never do that. I'm never gonna react to BTS. I'm
really?
Sorry, guys.
What? Just behind the scenes?
No. BTS is the Korean K-pop group. It's extremely popular.
Okay. I thought you meant some behind the scenes of the anime. I'm how it was made, I guess.
Or made? That's fine. We can watch that. Yeah. Anyways,
fair enough.
Well, it's neither here nor there. All right, episode 3 cut content. Take it away, George.
Sure. Nothing important cut. Okay, that's good. In the novels, Otto actually meets Roy, which explains the surprise about Rai Batenakito's name in episode 9. This scene is anime only, and Roy was probably replaced by Rai, do not wanting to spoil the Roy reveal in episode 4.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Episode 4, Emerada Lugunica. I can't read.
We're so bad at these names.
I can't read words, just straight up.
To be fair, these names, they're Emerada, okay, sure, but yeah, Lugucina.
When you read, the problem is we should really read some of these things, these names off air first, before. Well, but then we'd be pre-reading, watching, so we can't do that either. Yeah, that's the problem. Like a lot of people, when they first saw and encountered these names, they probably heard it and they were like, "Oh, that's how you say it." But we're like reading these a lot, so it's like,
when I first read Harry Potter, Hermione's name, I've never encountered that name. I didn't know how to say it. I just in my head, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember watching the movie and I was like, bro, I got it so incredibly wrong. It's Hermione. Are you kidding me?
That's hilarious. Lagunica died of illness. Sure. Ferris gets very angry about Capella's name due to his close connection to the royal family. Listen, wow. One of the princesses was very much the unofficial fiancée of Crush. Wow. I wish Ferris had a close connection to my family. Anyways, go ahead, George. Episode 8.
Episode 8. The person who revived corpses during the Demi-Human War is named in the novel as Sphinx, who due to her repulsive actions earned herself the title of a witch, not a sin. It is similar to how Amelia declares herself the Witch of Glaciation.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
It's like an unofficial.
I thought she was the Witch of Ice or
Frost.
Glaciation
it's probably
sense.
Translation.
The same thing. Yeah. Amelia doesn't wait for regulars to kill her like it looks in the anime. She actually gets into fighting position, ready to throw hands. Okay. Very good. Let's go, awesome. Spunky Amelia.
Based.
Nice.
Details. This is episode 13. Details about Garf's inner thoughts and strategy were left out. Man, dang. That's so disappointing. Since undead don't feel pain, Krug didn't notice the cut on his arm from earlier. That makes sense. I think we speculated about that, maybe?
Well, one of the things that the comments said that I didn't realize because it wasn't made clear in the anime is that and it makes sense now that I think about it, but it just wasn't explicitly said, and so I didn't even think about it, but that since they're dead, since they're corpses, they're like at a fraction of their strength.
True. I really appreciated those comments. Those comments were super helpful in understanding what was going on.
If they would even have said that just like as a passing, like if during the fighting, Garf and Wilhelm are like fighting, and Wilhelm's like, "Hey, she's not as strong as she was," or whatever, whatever it was, would be like, then I would have clued in, it's because they're a corpse, right? But without that info.
What does that say about Sword Saint, the previous Sword Saint, and Wilhelm? Is Wilhelm just like freaking weak, or is she crazy busted?
Well, he's also older. Like, you deteriorate a lot when you're older. Yeah. And he's still beat. Well, I think it's twofold. Like, she was really strong, and not to say that Wilhelm isn't strong currently as well. But I also think, bro, you're seeing the body of your wife. Like, it's not her. Like, mentally. So you're saying he was holding emotionally, back? I think there was an element of that. Yes.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Wilhelm's crazy strong as a young one. True. He's busted. He's pretty much peak human without any cheats. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? He was crazy strong back in the day. Wilhelm did mention in the anime, I think 9, the corpses are not at full strength. Frick. Is that true? He did?
Oh, then that's on us.
If that's true, then that's that's us.
Yeah, that's on us.
He got distracted by Heinkel. Yeah, but I mean, like, he fought in a general stalemate against her almost the whole time up into that point, though. That's what I mean, right? Like,
yeah, I think it's just like all of the above. He's old. She's also not at her prime, but she's also still very strong. It's the fact that it's his wife's body. I'm sure that caused some sort of hesitation or mental block in some way. So I think it's... Yeah, I think that's why that fight turned out that way.
All right, significantly weaker than in his prime. All right, fair enough. So back to this Garfield. Garfield uses this blind spot to attack in a position to which Krugen couldn't react, since unknown to him, his arm tendon was already cut.
Oh,
man, like
that's cool.
It's very cool. I like that. The animation went so hard in that fight, but there was a lot of stuff that it went like a little too hard in some ways, because like it wasn't clear what was happening and like what was going on, and then so much strategy was kind of cut and stuff. And apparently, like, he's got like insane regeneration, so he like broke his freaking arms and then regenerated the arms too. Like that would have been like a really freaking important thing.
Garf.
Garf. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
because
like
he's got that like blessing of the earth or something.
yeah, exactly.
I can't remember what it was called.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, that would have been nice to see and experience for ourselves to be like, wow, he really like pulled out all the stops to win this. And it just kind of felt like it was a flashy fight, but there was no real substance, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah. I do like Kurgan as a character, though. I like that he rescued him. And he's like, bro, we're having I may be a dead corpse, but we're still having an honorable duel.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
All right.
Blessing of the Earth Spirit. That's right. That's what it's called.
That's the one.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Episode 15.
15. After Capella returns from the rubble, Al complains that the domain has been undone and that her powers might be the worst match for him. The domain has been undone. What does that mean, bro? And that her powers you guys already know how sus of Al we are, dude. So
yeah, what the hell?
Anything slightly mysterious like this is an instant, not red flag in the traditional sense, but red flag as in the pay attention to this sense.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Her powers might be the worst for him. So, like, here's some speculation. If he gets changed by her into, like, a different entity or something, maybe he loses his potential return by death powers. Right?
Yeah.
Or if he gets changed... Oh, no. Oh, I figured it out. If he gets changed into, like, a fly or something, right? And he gets stuck in this, like, fly body, then he doesn't able to like die and
he's not gonna die and he's gonna keep coming back as a fly, bro.
No, not that he comes back as a fly per se, maybe that, but just like maybe he just doesn't die, like he lives for like a long time as a fly, and then like that's a big problem, right?
I wonder how much. What would be really sinister is if there's like an element of, or not an element, but like, you know, there's like the lizard brain and then the rest of us. If it like they're Al's brain and all the humans' brain is still in there, just wrapped in a magic brain of a fly. And so they're conscious of what they're doing and the fact that they're a fly, but they can't, like their will is taken from them, right? Because their fly brain is like forcing them to do fly things, but they're conscious of what they're doing. Now that would be sinister.
That's pretty dark, George. Very cool.
There's this short story called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and it is about, it's like a horror short story about this like supercomputer who like continually tortures like last 5 remaining members of humanity. And like that's a thing that kind of happens. It's like it's such a perfect supercomputer that it can like alter reality. It's, you know, slightly fantastical, but yeah, it like tortures them in one of the characters in that way. It's kind of messed up.
So that's great, George. Very cool. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with the class. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I can fix Capella. Get in line, Ken. I'm the #1 Capella stan around here.
I know you guys are joking, but I fear that you're not. I fear that you're not joking.
I have no comment on the matter.
Okay. Capella could fix me. I can expand Capella's domain. Come on, guys. Great reference from George. Hey, somebody caught the reference. Okay, very good.
Capella's expanding my domain. Anyways,
chill out, chat. Yes.
What's the last one here?
Let's keep going. After Otto blows Rai up and is shocked by his scars, Rai mockingly asks if stripping children's clothes is the kind of thing adults like here.
This
adults
is very important content. It's very important.
Yes. So he's a child? I can't tell.
I guess
with him, because he's like, he's what?
I mean, he's not...
Okay, Garf and his sister are what? Like, they're like part beast. I'm assuming he's also part beast, but he's
Gluttonies
like...
are 14, 15-ish, it looks like.
14, 15. Okay.
You know, but here's the thing. They may be actually that age, but they've consumed people and gained their memories and experiences and knowledge and skills. So, like, for all intents and purposes, they're theoretically hundreds of hundreds of years old because they've had, like, lifetimes of wisdom and experience, like, jammed into their freaking brain. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wonder how that works. Like if they can pick and choose, or if it's the entirety of a. Because like I'm surprised that unless they're just insane and it's like impossible for them, I'm surprised that they haven't become more empathetic. Right? Like they could have been just like broken, right?
Point.
But like you would think if you bring the entirety of like hundreds, potentially thousands of people's entire lives onto you, right? Like you would soon be like, bro, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I feel sorry for this guy, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I hate this person again. Oh, man. Like, they had a tough life.
Yeah, true. Like, even just like you consume REM, why do you not... I mean, it's weird, right? Because he does revere Subaru as a hero, yet the desire... Julius as the brother. Yeah. Yet they don't that there's no kind of emotional penetration at that level, right? It's like they have the knowledge of all of those things without the emotional attachment, right? They just take the information only, right? That's kind of, I guess, the difference, right? They take information, but they're not taking the emotion into themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Remember how Lei reacted to Otto taking pity on him? Yeah, there was a lot of interesting interactions with the Gluttonies. So, did you guys react to season 4 announcement? We have not. That could be a thing that we do.
Ooh, that's true.
That could be a thing. And if Nick is listening and Nick wants to shoot us the trailer for season 4. That would be interesting. As long as there's not too many spoilers. We're such freaking babies about it, but like I want to avoid as many spoilers for season 4 as possible. You'll send it, Vools. I don't know who Vools is. Maybe it's Nick. Maybe not. But appreciate it if you can send it. Oh, I got a ding. Season 4 doesn't really got spoilers. Okay, well, very good. We'll definitely check that out then. Maybe we'll do that before the cut content just to get it out of the way and make sure we got it. No spoilers. Okay, all right. We'll watch it. If we get it sent our way, we will definitely check it out. Gluttony is enjoying
what I was gonna say,
the emotions of their victims. True, yeah, maybe.
Tasting the emotions. Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say that the Gluttonies, I think, are becoming my favorite sin. They're just the most interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I like all the other ones, but like I don't know. I still feel like there's so much more. They're the least straightforward of all the other ones. As you know, none of them are straightforward to be fair, but they're the least of them. Because they're just, I guess part of it is because there's 3 of them and they're just like they like to eat different things.
Right.
And their personalities kind of complement each other in a way. So yeah. And like what happens if you beat one, right? Like do the memories that person that one ate get released, or you have to beat all 3 for it all to get released, right?
It's a great freaking question. It's a great question, George. I do not have the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got trailers. Shall we check out some trailers?
Let's check it out. Let's do it.
We had a trailer and what looks like a teaser. So let's check out this trailer here first. Hopefully it's got subtitles. We will see. I think there we go. Maybe it has subtitles. Trailer's supposed to, or the teaser's supposed to be first. Frick.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Great freaking comment. Who is that? Prishkevich. Thank you very much. Let's see. When did these come out? 5 months ago and 1 month ago. Okay, yeah. So we'll watch the 5 month ago one first. Do we have any subtitles? English? I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. All right, let's check this out. This is the season 4 teaser that came out like 5 months ago. So 2.1 million fucking views. Holy frick.
Jeez, all right.
Okay, we don't have audio. Let me fix that. Bear with me, everyone. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Where does this go? It's right here. Very good. Let me know if the volume is too high or too low, and I will adjust it post-haste.
It's a desert.
Yeah, how do we go from a water city to a desert? What?
Yeah. Like Wild West almost.
Oh!
Oh. There they are.
Milk.
Milk.
Warm milk. Okay.
So they're traveling together.
Yeah, it seems so.
In the desert. Okay.
They've gone on a vacation, I suppose. Okay, very good. We'll get to the other one here. From a month ago. This one looks like it's got more to it, probably. Subtitles, English. Very good. This is considered the best arc. Super's not in his track suit. That's a good point. Yeah.
True.
Widely regarded the pinnacle of ReZero. That's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, straight up. Like, ReZero has been exceptionally good. So to think that this is like peak favorite arc, and everyone's saying that, that's kind of crazy, not gonna lie.
What was that?
Uh-oh. She's sick?
Guess?
Julius is there. Okay, makes sense.
Who's that other person next to Julius?
Oh boy, we're gonna do this a lot, aren't we? I feel like that's Petra? Question mark? Like, I don't know why Petra would be here though. So it's either Petra or someone we just don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh jeez.
Like a giant.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Okay. Oh, frick, they're being chased.
Oh, sheesh. Oh.
Dude, it's her? No way. How is she wrapped up with them? Oh, Rem's awake?
Rem is there. I don't know. She's like sitting there. I feel like she'd be fighting if she was awake.
Oh, and there was like a giant worm.
Yeah, what the frick?
Dude, they not know that she's tied up. They know she's tied up with Elsa. Or was tied up with Elsa, that one chick.
Yeah, let's yeah.
That's her, right? What's her face from the village?
Yep, that's freaking her.
Oh, bro, I'm going to be so sus of her the entire season. I can already tell.
The heck? Okay, it's very strange. And then we have this fucking worm. What the frick?
Yeah.
And then we've got this.
She's awake, dude. She's awake. She just doesn't remember. Oh, dude, do you think they beat? No, but he took both. The lie, I want to say Gluttony, took both her name and her memories.
Yeah, how they have to have some kind of encounter with them first before they wake her up, bro. There's no way. She's not awake. There's no way. She wouldn't be sitting inside, I don't think, just like this. Is she in some kind of like chair?
She's on a wheelchair. Yeah, look at that. It's got like handles in the back.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, dude. She's awake. There's no way she'd be laying down. It's so bumpy and everything.
You're not wrong.
She'd like...
Yeah, Amelia's got like a totally different outfit on now as well. Big frickin' wardrobe changes.
Yeah, and go back to when right after she throws the ice. Yeah.
Right
Press
after?
play and just be ready to pause it. Yeah. Pause it. What is that? A city? No, that's just like a bush in the back. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I almost thought like city was back there.
So wait, hold on.
Oh, she calls this up.
That's what I was thinking. She goes like this, and then this freaking worm comes out.
But then it almost lands on Subaru. Wait, no, but it's chasing them.
It could be a misdirect though. Oh no, see, it's like gonna flatten them.
Oh,
it could be an attack though. It could be a reckless attack from her, right? Like it's not necessarily after them. It's just kind of flattening all the other stuff, right? Like okay, so picture this, right? There's all these guys. There's too many for them to handle. They're running away. She goes, "Come, my freaking worm thing." The worm thing comes out, and then it's like, okay, we got to turn a little bit, and the worm's like following them, right? And so they don't seem overly concerned. Like right here, they're like not worried at all. There's no sweat drop or anything. So they're not worried. And then now she's a little worried. She doesn't know what's going on. She's like, holy frick, this is getting crazy. And then Subaru's like, oh my gosh, this attack is a little bit too much. And then they split up. And then it could be like played for like kind of comedy after. Like, oh my gosh, you almost flattened us. But at least you flattened all the rhinos. Because like right here, the worm is clearly flattening the rhinos, but not necessarily going to try and eat Subaru, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's just, it's freaking welcome the anime club. This is 1 minute long, folks.
Yes. I will be I'm giving you guys fair warning until she like explicitly saves like Subaru's life maybe like 2 or 3 times in a row and is like the perfect angel. I will continue to be I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna need to do to overcome my bias towards her in my mind, dude. I am gonna be sus of her all the time, and every action she takes, I'm gonna be like, okay, but how can I twist this so that she was actually trying to kill Subaru? Because I see this thing, and you're saying, well, maybe it was a reckless attack, and she's trying to kill the rhinos. I'm like, reckless, you say?
Listen, the rhinos are like right on their butt. It had to be that they got squished like really close. It was the only way.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Sure, the only way.
I'm of the perspective that if they're in the main cast, this is like anime brain. If they're in the main cast now, they're just like allies. Like I'm almost not suspicious of them almost at all, right? Unless there's like something weird happening, then it's like I just accept it. Like okay, they're just a good guy now. I guess.
But let's say Elsa's showed
dead.
up.
No, she's
I know,
super
but
dead.
let's just say no. I know she's super dead, but let's just say in season 2. She showed up and she's like, I want to help you guys because XYZ motivation.
For sure. If she had some like kind of like, oh, I've been wronged in the past and blah, blah, blah.
No. It wasn't even that. It was like, it was a believable motivation. You're like, sure. I can see where 100%. She's coming from.
Yeah, she'd be fine.
I see. I wouldn't accept it. I mean, I would accept that she's in the cast, but I wouldn't trust her.
Yeah, I'd trust her. I'd be like, of course, she's in the main cast.
I like trust. The only reason I trust, bro, how am I already forgetting names? We just barely finished watching this, but Mathers, frick.
Roswell.
Roswell, there we go. Thank you. I've always been the worst with names.
Wow.
The only reason I trust Roswell is because of the frickin' spell. And then again, he's a cunning, crafty dude, so I don't trust him 100%, but I do trust him enough for now.
Guy. That's for sure.
Yes. Okay.
Anyways, all right. Let's we've neglected chat a little bit. Melee is 12 years old. LOL. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure. She's a 12 years old that the frickin' massacres villages and stuff for sure. Subaru just wants to add her to her collection of lollies. Actually, speaking of which, frickin' what's her face? Betty just can't freaking not sit on Subaru's lap like 24/7. It's just impossible. Also, she looks like really small here, like weirdly small, like off-model small here.
I'm sure Subaru keeps growing because he was what, like 16, 17?
Yeah, true. It's just cute. That's all. She just looks cute.
Ah, okay.
She's cute.
George, is Maylee's NR1 op? What does that mean?
NR1 op.
Guilty until proven innocent. That's right. That's how I'm gonna approach her. Guilty until proven innocent.
Dang.
100%, bro.
No. She's cute, I suppose. Kashira. Good morning, Alpha Orions. Good morning.
Morning.
Let's see. Is there anything else here? Graham, crying emoji. That's funny. Subaru, the little grease. You know what's so funny to me? I remember hearing a lot about the conversation between the ReZero fan base specifically. Now, I know that the Jobless Reincarnation got a lot of flack because of Season 1 stuff. Reasonably enough, but I also remember seeing that the ReZero fan base was giving the Jobless fan base a bunch of flack for the freaking little girl stuff. And then we watched Season 3 and it's like little girls galore, okay? So like let's not even, okay? There's little girls all over the place in ReZero. They got nothing to say, okay? That's crazy. So all right, so let's see. There's some key visuals here for Season 4.
Oh, okay. Let's
open this up here. We've got she is in a wheelchair.
She's awake, dude. What? How does that even happen?
Is she though? You say that, but like she's
her eyes are closed. I don't know, dude. Does that look like somebody who is in a coma?
No, because if they were in a coma, she'd fall freaking forward for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So unless there's some like this is a magical wheelchair that like prevents her from doing that.
You know what? It might actually be a magical wheelchair that like preserves her posture or something. Yeah. Also, we see Maylee. We see Maylee here, who's being like scared of giving food to the freaking little brontosaurus freaking motherfucker over here. Probably land dragon, actually, now I'm thinking about it. This just goes to show that she's like freaking totally part of the crew. Like she's just a scared freaking character. And she's like, oh, I'm so scared. I gotta give the freaking grass.
She might be. She might be. Yeah. But like I said, and the chat said, guilty until proven innocent, dude. That's the attitude I'm taking.
Here's another one. This is a gross looking worm. The detail on this is a little too much. Holy frick. And then these guys, what?
Oh, those are cool hands.
Yeah, they are cool hands. This reminds me of a monster from Zenless Zone Zero who has like kind of these hand things as well. Yeah, super cool. Okay, interesting. They're like flowers? So I'm assuming they like...
Yeah, there's like flowers on their back. Yeah,
they
look
come
like
to
rocks.
These flowers in the desert and they're chilling and then these rhino guys pop up out of the ground. I freaking bet.
Yeah.
Maybe they even see like one of the horns and they're like, what's this fucking horn? And they like kick it or something. And then like the rhinos start popping out. This worm is grody, dude. Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a pretty menacing looking worm, so maybe it isn't.
There's a lot of Dune inspirations here. There's the desert. There's the giant worms.
I'm seeing some shushes in chat. No spoilers, everybody. You don't want to get freaking super banned. So I'm not going to look at any comments above those freaking shushes. The sandworms are always gross. Fair. That's fair. All right. Well, that's very entertaining. So
there was 3 key visuals or just 2?
Just 2. For Season 4, yeah. So my hope for getting through these other videos in any timely manner has plummeted. Based on the fact that it took us...
Sorry to cut you off there, but wouldn't you love Capella if she was a worm? That comment cracks me up, dude.
Well, I have no doubt she could be a worm, but things might change slightly. Yeah, so it took us forever to get through this 1-minute teaser. Very cool. But,
okay.
Well, George...
We'll do what we can.
We'll do what we can. We have about an hour or less left. So we will start getting through these content videos here. Chat's behaving well, just keeping everyone in line. Well, I appreciate that, chat. Thank you, everybody. Our community is great. I know that, like, we say our community, of course, everyone's part of different reaction communities and maybe different communities in general. But the people who choose to chill out and hang out in our chats and our Discord and stuff, it's great. It's great to have you. You're all wonderful people.
That's right.
It's amazing. We love it.
That's right.
Also, feel free to join the Discord anytime. It's a great time. It's super chill. If you want to join the voice chat and just say hello, I'm usually in the voice chat because I'm usually at home, either playing video games or editing. So you're welcome to jump in. The voice chat's open to everyone. There were some people who were wondering if it was open to everyone or not. It totally is. So you're welcome to join. There's a recording room, which is the channel we're in right now. That's exclusive to us when we're recording, so people can see that we're working on stuff. But other than that, feel free to join. It'd be great to have you. All right.
Yes,
well, let's get to these
Let's
vidges,
do this. I'm excited to these videos. Any news?
Any news? All right. Okay, let's see.
Wrath introduces something entirely new to Subaru. The way her power constantly resonates back and forth leads to this infinitely growing sense of whatever emotion Sirius wants him to feel.
It's a little quiet for me.
It's this mental torture.
Okay, I'm going to turn down the audio on OBS and turn up the audio here.
That's explored more.
Okay,
that should be good. And just let me know how the audio is. If it's too quiet or too loud, everybody, just let me know.
Deeply in the novels, along with the whole fight that we didn't get to see. Subaru had actually channeled his inner Indiana Jones and faced off head-to-head with Sirius in a way that was somewhat impressive. Sure, it may have just ended up with him dying anyway, but his whole approach towards it highlighted just how much he'd grown.
Right, so, that would have been nice to see.
That and all the other little details, hopefully you enjoy seeing everything the anime left out from the novel.
I'm just gonna note is like the most minor nitpicking thing ever. Her bandages like perfectly contour to her lips. I don't even know how that would happen, but it's just a little thing that I noticed. That's it. It's very strange.
I'll be making these every week for every episode, so feel free to subscribe if you want to know everything there is to know about ReZero. Let's get started. Episode 52, Decisive End of Ice and Fire, covering chapters 1 and 2 from volume 17 of the light novel. With Subaru having returned from death for the first time in a year, you'd be surprised to know the emotion he was feeling now was anger. It wasn't so much this grim despair or uncertain confusion, but instead this endless resentment towards the fact that he had died. You see, it was over a year ago that Subaru vowed never to plunge headfirst into death again, yet only moments ago he walked right into it. His resolve to challenge every hardship and ordeal with every ounce of strength he had was effectively rendered meaningless in the face of who he now knew as Wrath. So, for him to fail the pledge he'd made back during the witch's trial in Sanctuary, well, that overwhelmed him with both shame and anger. It was a brutal combination that would have resulted in self-loathing next, if not for Subaru realizing how little time he had.
Wait, so he's upset that he blew his oath not to die? But he didn't have a choice. He got killed.
Yeah.
He didn't choose to die. He got killed. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, but I think he's just mad at the fact that he died. In general.
Strange.
Before, all his save points were hours to days before the moment of his death, but this time it was only minutes. It was a brand new challenge that Subaru had never faced before. Now, it was during all this that Priscilla couldn't even be bothered, and that actually went to comfort Subaru a bit. The way it was so
Audio's good, it's a bit quiet. Okay, perfect. Good to know. I'm gonna up that just a bit.
Character for her just put him at ease. This helped him to compose his thoughts and eventually led to his decision to try things solo. Normally, Subaru would have had no problem asking Beatrice for help, but because Amelia was a likely target, he couldn't risk having her be by herself. Ever since what had happened to Rem, Subaru was constantly fearful of a similar fate befalling Amelia. He was so traumatized by that the fear of what could happen drowned out any thoughts of what should happen. He didn't ever think that way with Beatrice though, since regardless of what danger awaited them, Subaru knew his fate was intertwined with hers now. His sentiments towards her wouldn't ever stop him from fighting with her, since their relationship had crossed that line of resolve.
I do like that here. I can't pause. Oh, I can't pause it. I do really like that even with something as OP as Returned by Death, there are consequences that even Return by Death can't undo. Like Rem, obviously season 4, maybe she's up, maybe they've undone part of it or something, but I do really like that there's like still ways to get at him
based on the checkpoint updating and stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
They were truly a team that would face everything together. Fast forward now to the confrontation in the tower, and this is where the biggest portion of content was cut.
I hate this scene the most.
Not only did Subaru approach the whole thing completely different, but his end was a lot more disturbing than what we saw. It was as Subaru rushed there that he contemplated what happened in the last loop. He didn't know exactly how it was he died, but what he did know was that Sirius induced some type of mental corruption. He had essentially lost his mind, and that made...
Do you need to pause for a second?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Remembering things a lot more difficult, since the memories he retained after death were influenced by his state during the moment of death. That made assuming anything from the last loop very risky. That being the case, choosing how to approach this loop was gonna be a lot harder. Like, he could cause a commotion and scatter everyone away from the tower, but that would only end up delaying things. Sirius clearly didn't have a specific target in mind, so if her show didn't happen here, then Subaru knew it would just happen somewhere else. It was a hollow victory that didn't change anything. Not the type of win that Subaru would be satisfied with. So, Subaru would be a bit more proactive and scope out the tower, until finding that the door was open. Inside was surprisingly empty, since the magical nature of the clock meant that no mechanical pieces were necessary. It made it so the only things present were the support
clock was that way.
Massive staircase.
I guess so.
It was a hollow tower in which only his footsteps echoed. Eventually, Subaru had climbed to the point where he could hear Luzbel, but rather than him being by himself, Subaru could also hear the ramblings of the person who captured him. Right there with Luzbel was Sirius telling him just how proud she was of him. The tone sounded very reassuring, but the actual words were more like a blessing and a curse. It made it clear that the person speaking wasn't sane at all. It was from here that Subaru would have to approach quietly, putting to action the silent stepping lessons he was taught by Clint, Subaru's mentor and a steward serving Anaros. He's the one who's been training Subaru, and in addition to teaching him how to walk quietly, he's also the one who taught him how to use his whip. A weapon Subaru was now proficient with, enough to be deemed somewhat decent. It's not like he was an expert, but he did possess a level of mastery that was considered acceptable. The whip itself was a bullwhip just like Indiana Jones's, except Subaru's was a bit longer, making it slightly more difficult to use. It was a custom gift from Clind, serving as a sort of graduation present, one that bore the name of the demon beast it was crafted from. As for why Subaru chose the whip, well, as a weapon well suited for tricks and feints, it fit nicely with Subaru's own style of fighting. He knew he couldn't compete against swordsmen in a sword fight, but perhaps something like a whip could make things a bit more even. So if there was any weapon that could match his cunning,
honestly, that's really impressive. He can like freaking twist it to the point where it like hits a target dead in the center. I didn't like give Subaru enough credit when we initially saw this, because I'm seeing this now and I'm like, bro, how did I couldn't do that. Like, I could maybe like go straight down and like have it like land on something,
maybe,
but that's
exactly.
it.
Right.
The whip was certainly one of the best candidates. It also gave him the ability to quickly land hits against opponents that were stronger than him. So, as
from a distance too, it's a little safer.
Sirius, he first made sure he was within range to land an attack, then quickly wound his whip in a way that emphasized speed over force. He wasn't so strong that he could knock someone out instantly with it, but if he could at least restrain his target before they noticed, then that on its own was a significant advantage for him. He was hoping to grab hold of Sirius, then toss her over the banister. It was before the whip could even wrap itself around Sirius's neck, though, that Sirius would already be asking Subaru why he was so angry. She hadn't even turned around, yet somehow she knew that Subaru was already attacking her. That's when she would deflect the whip with her own chains, entangling the two together, making both of them useless. Fortunately, this worked in Subaru's favor, since all he had to do now was tug to force her off balance. It was just enough to make her stumble and give Subaru the opportunity to tackle her. A powerful charge that would send her over the banister anyway. That's when Subaru would finally start to save Luzbel, leading to the events that we saw in the anime. If you're
Interesting.
wondering how Sirius was able to find her way back up, well, somehow she'd managed to fling her chain, pull Subaru down, then use the resulting force to propel herself back up. She'd essentially hit Subaru with the Uno reverse card and left him for death by what was essentially a bar hanging.
Jeez,
This
dude.
wasn't what made this death so grisly, though, since in the midst of Sirius revealing her power, Subaru was descending into a form of madness completely different from the first one. With his and Luspel's sphere bouncing back and forth stacking on top of each other, the cascading effect it had on Subaru's mind made him lose his very sense of self. For him, everything in this moment was now fear. From Sirius's voice to the air itself, absolutely everything, no matter how minute, terrified Subaru down to his very core. Like, he wanted to close his eyes and see no more, but even the dark went to scare him too. It was after that the thought of never seeing light again scared him, then it was this thought process that kept spiraling out of control.
Oh my
It went
gosh.
on and on until fear in its purest form became the only thing that Subaru could comprehend anymore. To him, fear
Bro,
was...
that is rough, dude.
I
That.
feel like that's putting it lightly. Rough is.
All right.
This-
Give me just a second. I have a little one trying to get in my office. Give me a sec.
Oh, all right, no worries. Dang, that's freaking brutal. Not gonna lie, I did not enjoy this section of the story whatsoever. The graphic nature of it and the intense brutality of the freaking death was not enjoyable at all. Fear. Mini George. Yep, Mini George is trying to break in. One of the worst, arguably one of the worst deaths in ReZero. Yeah, frick, Demon. That's. Ugh. I don't like it. I'm sad that they're showing the visuals so much on screen. I'd really rather not, but it is what it is. One of the most brutal deaths after the rabbits. You know, the rabbits was freaking
Okay, I'm
brutal,
back.
but it wasn't that bad to me. It wasn't as bad as this. This one's my worst by far. It's not even close.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Which one's worse, rabbits or this one? This one's like definitely more psychological torture, but there's definitely a lot of psychological torture being eaten alive, like piece by piece. So it's just
Sure.
like at what level, and like this one was also incredibly painful, but being eaten alive is like more painful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
All right.
All
we'll
right.
Keep going here.
is the only truth now. So, in the end, Subaru didn't know whether he died from hanging or terror-induced cardiac arrest, but what he did know was that he never wanted to feel that way again.
No
The
kidding.
way he lost everything that
Yeah.
made him who he was, made him realize that maybe he should ask for help. Luckily, that experience wasn't all for naught, since Subaru now understood a bit of Sirius's resonance ability. He figured it was an authority that let her manipulate people's emotions. He wasn't quite sure how it worked, but the fact it affected him went to show that he wasn't immune to authorities like how he hoped he was.
Also,
true.
I think
That's a
I
good
said
point.
this. Yeah, I think I said this when we reacted. But the fact that he just went through that death
Right.
and literally
Turned around.
30 seconds later, he's like,
Yeah.
bro, I gotta
gotta-
try again.
Yeah.
Freaking props to him, man.
Since he was
Bro.
able to resist the authority of Sloth, Subaru hoped his
Okay, but the authority of Sloth being his unseen hands, because he didn't really resist that authority in so much that he had some kind of like natural advantage over it being able to see it, but like he could still be crushed. Like he didn't resist the hands. Like he could have been crushed to death by the hands easily, as far as I
Yeah.
understand. Right? So
But it
unless-
does counter the unseen hand, unseen portion of it, right? It greatly. Unseen hand is very strong because it's just strong, but an invisible attack is like
Sure, but I mean like
multiple levels of
this is-
magnitude stronger, right?
I know, but I'm specifically talking about like some natural immunity level, right? Like there's no
Oh,
natural
I see.
immunity to the hands per se other than like the invisible factor.
Immunity, yeah.
Unless it's specifically talking about the body swapping, but I don't think that is. I think that's spirit based. I don't think that has to do with anything with the authority.
And even if it was able to go to him too, so I wouldn't say he's immune on that, but yeah.
Immune to the authority. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. If he was actually immune to the authority, he just wouldn't be able to be affected by unseen hand at all. That's what I'm saying. So
you don't listen to this comment, dude. You don't understand what the rabbits did to him. They have a spell in them that keeps the victim alive until the brainstem is eaten, because life keeps the food fresh.
All right, that's pretty fricked. I'm not gonna lie. That's I'm glad I don't understand, or at least I do now. So that's great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's something.
His
all
connection
right,
to
let's
the
keep
witches
going.
would allow him to resist all the other archbishop's authorities. Sirius had unfortunately proved this otherwise, but that in itself was valuable information too. Now, regardless of how
that does beg the question, why?
Jeez. I don't know. That's a good question. Why was he able to see
the
unseen hand but not resist the mind thing?
Yeah, like at least being able to see some aura come out.
There's another comment. He is immune to gluttonies. At least immune to the effects. Maybe his things can still be eaten, right? His name and his memory.
Yeah, true. He's got a weird assortment of
everybody.
like resistances, but nothing here. Right?
Yeah, that is strange.
It is really weird. Yeah, I'm
how
not sure.
It was activated. The current circumstances made for quite the interesting predicament. What I mean is that, while yes, Subaru could defeat Sirius by blowing up the entire tower, to do so would mean sacrificing Loosespell. To some, this could be seen as a necessary sacrifice, but to Subaru that was an outcome that he would never accept. Reason being that it went against everything he now currently
Our good
stood
boy
for.
Subaru.
Ever since he made up his mind to not sacrifice himself, Subaru believed he had no right to force others to
Exactly.
either.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if saving one life meant saving many, to Subaru losing that one life was like giving up on the world. He pretty much possessed the exact opposite view of Kuritsugu. That being the case, overall this was a very tough situation.
I don't know who that is, but alright.
It's from a different series,
to induce that level of despair yet, though, since if he couldn't pull this off, then Subaru knew he would question his value as Amelia's knight. It was a train of thought that
wait, is that why she tries to wink? Because she
Subaru knew he
winks here and then she tries to wink? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. That's hilarious.
Value as Amelia's knight. It was a train of thought that led directly to Reinhardt. Dying twice made him forget that he was even an option, but after racking his mind hard, the obvious answer became clear, bringing us now to Subaru's third encounter in the square. It was Subaru's concern here that had actually gone to confuse me a bit, since I didn't think.
I'm trying not to pause it too much for time, but the fact that he forgot about Reinhardt after dying twice, like, it's very realistic. I think as a viewer, it's very easy to like have all these like things ever present before you and be like, bro, Reinhardt's right there. What are you doing? Right. But in a real way, if someone had just gone through such a traumatic experience, like dying of fear till your like heart gives out, you're gonna forget a few. Like, it's understandable if like you're not the most clear-minded. So that's a
fair.
cool detail I like. Yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
Aware that there was in fact a penalty just for sharing information gained via return by death. Personally, I thought it was just about return by death itself, but Subaru was very anxious about revealing information he'd learned from return by death. It's something I swear we've seen him do numerous times before. In any case, it turns out that despite Subaru not having died in over a year, there were numerous times throughout where, when discussing return by death, the penalty for doing so would thoroughly torment him. There was this one instance where he tried to reveal it to Beatrice, only to experience hell-like pain for quite a few moments after. It didn't make him any less willing to share everything with Beatrice.
So he tried to share with Beatrice and he took fucking damage from that?
I guess so. It like tortured him, but it wasn't enough to die, so maybe he didn't fully reveal it.
Wonder how much he was able to divulge then.
So as long as there wasn't any true consequential suffering, Subaru was still committed to sharing everything with her. This did actually help to teach Subaru something, and that was that the severity of the penalty differed, depending on the level of detail being shared about return by death, along with who exactly it was he was telling it to. The level of suffering would change accordingly. The These were the two factors in which the penalty was directly proportional to. So, sharing information with someone like Ratchins wouldn't be as severe as sharing it with someone like Amelia. It was an interesting connection Subaru constantly had to worry about.
Bro, why?
One that signified the degree.
Why does the mechanic work that way?
That's a good frickin' question. It's possible it's specifically related to Amelia because of the Witch of Envy, but it's also possible, like, this goes again to like the potential omnipotentness, the omnipotent knowledge of like what's going to happen in the future or something, but like telling a frickin' child about some future event, no real consequences, telling like someone who has a lot of power or status to make something happen in the future to like make a change, that could have huge ramifications. So it's like, okay, well, you can't tell that information of, because like it's the two things, right? It's the weight and the ramifications of the information that you're sharing, and then the weight and ramifications of what the person who's receiving that information could potentially do.
Yeah, so that's kind of my question, right? Like the first part, like I understand that, right? Like that's totally clear to me. Right. And the second part of like the significance of the person he's telling it to, like that also makes sense, but it brings up a whole lot of questions because like is it because the Witch of Envy like cares in a sense, like who ends up knowing about this, right? Like could he
clearly
say it, could he write it in a letter and just like put it in a glass bottle and like literally say everything? I am from the planet Earth.
I don't think he'd be able to write
and like
I don't think he'd
chuck
be able to
it in the
write
ocean. Right. Like, would it maybe stop him if that's
right? Because there's no direct person, right?
Like, I understand the mechanic. I'm just wondering why the Witch of Envy has set it up that way, right? Because, like, he could give middling information to somebody who he's never met but just happens to be super smart. Would they be able to, like, connect the dots? And then it's like, oh, bro, I know about Return by Death. I know the authority you have, right? And would the Witch of Envy allow that? Or is it just... doesn't matter how smart this guy is and all that stuff. Subaru doesn't care about this individual, and therefore I am going to allow that he knows or like figures it out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
Hassan says, can he shout it in a room when he's alone? He can't write it down. I have questions. If Subaru,
those are perfectly logical questions that I would probably have gotten to, like, given enough time, right?
If Subaru shouts about his return by death in a forest and no one's around to hear it, does he even really say it? Right? That's the question.
Yeah.
He can actually say that he's from Earth. There's only a penalty about return by death. That makes sense. No one's even going to understand the context of like Earth per se. So only return by death is the important factor there.
Yeah, and it's based on intention, people are saying. And I get that. Like, I understand that. It's just more so
you're wondering why she makes the rules.
Why does it care? Yeah, why does she care? It would make more sense, I guess, to me that it's just like a flat out, like, you can't tell anybody, right? The fact that there's levels to this implies that there's like she cares about it in some sort of way.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Like, I don't understand what. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
The degree of what Subaru could share depended solely on the whims of the witch. Luckily, Subaru could share quite a bit with Ratchin, so in addition to what he said in the anime, Subaru also explained who was going to attack and when it was going to happen. He had essentially given full context on everything. Sirius's entrance after was pretty much the same, except for an additional line indicating a potential mind-reading ability. I don't know if that's
she has that too.
But somehow she knew that someone was thinking about her with more intensity than expected.
That
a clear indicator
that makes perfect sense, actually, because she gleaned some information from Priscilla when they fought. Right, she got information from her, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it just makes sense, like with the mind connecting stuff, that she can do something to that effect.
Perhaps it's not just emotions that she can share.
Right.
It was when Reinhardt showed up shortly after that he immediately deduced how it was Sirius's authority actually worked. Unlike how Subaru thought it was by looking her way or hearing her voice, it was instead through the mere fact of knowing that she existed. Anyone who acknowledged her in any way whatsoever was fair game to become affected by her.
What a power.
It was a crazy power that even Reinhardt was wary of. I'm sure this was him just being humble, but the thought of even him not being immune really worried Subaru.
No kidding.
Sirius would then talk to Reinhardt a little bit more, basically saying how he was the ideal manifestation of everything she preached about. The way the masses came together to love him specifically really resonated with the love that Sirius liked to talk about all day. This conversation didn't really last much longer though, as Reinhardt would quickly engage in what can only be described as aerial combat. I know to us that doesn't seem very ridiculous, but to Subaru, Reinhardt's power was just becoming absurd now. The way he handled Sirius's chains was pretty crazy too, since with only his foot, he was able to gain complete control over them.
That's crazy.
It was a feat that made Subaru think Reinhardt was a literal superhero now. The rest of the fight was pretty much the same, aside from Luzbel bearing the first signs that injury was shared with Sirius too. Although Subaru didn't understand at the time, when saving Luzbel there were bruises on his arm that weren't there before. Injuries that are later hinted as one Sirius received during her fight with Reinhardt. Sirius also didn't just accept her fate either, and instead actually tried to flee by propelling herself away with her chains. Reinhardt, of course, caught her instantly, then chopped her in half along with everyone else. It was the first time that Subaru had ever died so cleanly. A demise so quick that rather than pain, the only thing Subaru could feel after was surprise.
Oh, okay, it was that way.
This
okay,
did,
like in the
however,
anime.
provide the information he needed to understand how he died in the first loop, so now he knew Sirius's power wasn't just a resonance of emotions, but also a transference of physical conditions too.
Weird,
It was
man.
enough of a problem to get Subaru to seek out more help.
Yeah.
It was in this scene that I was hoping to find more information on Reinhardt's power, but what we saw was pretty much all we got. His dominion over mana made everyone else's non-existent. Sure, this was definitely OP, but at the same time it was also very much inconvenient. It made it so none of Subaru's allies could stand on the same field together. Individually, they were all very much formidable, but together, well, there was no plan Subaru could come up with which would let them all reach their true potential. Now,
that's such a cool
after
scene,
there was
dude.
This whole conversation about
that.
how
Best
Sirius's
scene in like all the
authority was
OPs and
similar to the
EDs.
high-level spell Necht, leading to the basis behind why Shamok should work against it. Since that whole theory was immediately disproved though, I can see why the anime decided to cut it. Sirius's authority was more a curse that manipulated the soul itself, not some heretical abuse of a spell that let you share senses. That's why Shamok wouldn't work against it. This brings us then to Amelia, whose astute observation highlighted Subaru's emotions right now. The reason she could tell that Subaru was about to cry was because deep down Subaru was terrified. He'd just died 3 times in an hour, which was far more death than he was used to. That's not to say that he would ever get used to dying, but to do so often was far more than what he'd handled before. His future was constantly being robbed from him in a way that was unacceptable. His soul defiled and his vow completely shattered. This is what it meant every time he died, so to have his existence trampled like that didn't really sit well with him. Fast forward to the actual fight now, and Sirius didn't come out unscathed by Amelia's attack. Half her bandages were soaked in blood, her left arm dangled as if broken, and her demeanor clearly unsteady and battered.
Wow.
What shocked Subaru more than that though was the way that Sirius just completely ignored him. She didn't even register that he was there, but instead focused solely on Amelia and Beatrice. The fight itself showcased Amelia's brand new style of combat.
Why would they cut the battle
Subaru
damage?
himself
They could
dubbed
easily
as
put that
ice
in.
I
darts.
don't know.
It was a way of fighting that took full advantage of her massive mana capacity. One that constantly reformed her weapons, allowing her to launch high-speed combo attacks.
That's a cool way to fight.
She would go in fully intending to break her weapons of ice, then immediately reshape them into something new.
That's
To
cool.
Subaru, it was a beautiful
Yeah.
display that made him feel like he was watching a fairy dance. To others, this was more a dance of ice and fire. It was in the meantime that Subaru was dealing with Sirius's soul-washed minions, tossing who he could into the waterway, then literally parkouring his way up to Luzbel.
Toss them
It
into
was
the
yet
water.
another one of the skills that Clint had taught him, and Subaru was making sure to make good use of it here.
Hope they can
Now,
swim.
there is a bit more to Amelia's fight,
true.
but that's actually something that I'm gonna save for next week since I'm not sure if they'll include it in the next episode or not. So for now, that's everything about Season 3, Episode 2, and pretty much all that I got to say for it. If you liked the video, then leave a like, and if you want to see more, then consider subscribing. I'll be doing these every week for every episode. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do.
Okay.
So,
very good, man.
Wow. Very good.
That was, yeah. That
cutting
Emilia
damage
is
seems
much
weird.
Stronger. Yeah, much stronger than I gave her credit for.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, it seemed like that made it was a double negative, I think. It made Sirius seem way stronger than she was, because it seemed like she took no damage from like almost anyone except for like the last hit from Reinhardt at the end, and nothing from like Emilia almost at all. And then it makes Emilia seem not that powerful, like strong, like she's able to go toe to toe, but she can't really do any real damage.
She seems more like mana and magic strong, and less so like fighting prowess strong. But the fact that she's able to do both, at a high level, that's pretty impressive. Dang,
I wish they would have conveyed that. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah. Emilia's super strong. Yeah, no kidding.
It's physically very strong. Yeah, like I had no idea. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, animated made everyone dirty. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Man, I just wish they didn't cut certain stuff like that. Like, there's probably a lot of things they included that they could have cut that would have made it worse. So, like, I'm happy for the adaptation that we got, but there's, like, some stuff that they definitely should not have cut that seems like why not just take your time? Like, why not just take more time? Just be like, okay, you know what? We got to put an episode here. We gotta make sure this scene is properly, like, conveyed. So, I don't know. Like, I know there's deadlines. I don't know, like, how obviously...
Those, like, I was going to say, I don't know how the deadlines and contracts and all that stuff works.
Yes. I know there's lots more behind the scenes. I'm a freaking YouTuber sitting behind a screen in a chair in his house. So, it's like, it's whatever. But... production problems. Yeah, money, production problems. I know. I'm just complaining. That's all. I get it. It's understandable. It's an adaptation. Yep. It's never going to be perfect. So it is what it is. Because annoying YouTubers complain about pacing all the time. Yeah, like it doesn't have, but that's the thing though. It doesn't have to be like super slow and drawn out because like there's too much information. But like there's certain levels of things that you cut. And it's like they cut something, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they cut something at the end of the Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 finale, and it's just like, you shouldn't have cut that. That changes a lot. This changes a whole lot in, like, the perspective that certain characters are going to have. So, yeah, it kind of irks me a little bit that they would cut, like, such important things that are, like, seemingly you could fit in, like, a minute or two at most, maybe even less as, like, a passing comment. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know that season 2 or season 3 and 4 were supposed to be one whole season, but like I don't really see that matters, right? Like
I think it just points out further that there were production issues.
Sure.
Right? So
for sure. Like, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. If I was in charge of the whole thing, I would just say, listen, we delay this until we get it right. Like season 3 and 4 being split is fine. It doesn't excuse the like cutting really important stuff just because it's split. Like I feel like those 2 points are irrelevant.
Yeah, so, I agree with you. It's just like it is what it is, I guess. They will always cut. Every adaptation will always cut. It's just how well is it done?
Right. Cut content sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I think there's some cut content that is fine. Like, there was the scene in this one where it's like, oh, well, you know, Shamak doesn't work on the authority for Wrath. It's like, okay, like, that's good to know, but, like, it doesn't matter. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it changes basically freaking nothing. Like, you could generally make the assumption that her authority may or may not work, superseding that and may work, you know, in a different way. So like cutting that is fine, but like cutting the power-ish scaling for characters seems like a pretty decent loss. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm always for more.
Yeah, right?
Closer to the source material is always better.
Right. Okay, very good. We're not going to get to most of these whatsoever.
We are not.
No, not
we
at
maybe
all.
do another stream, but we have time for at least one more, I think.
Okay, we'll do one more. It's 20 minutes.
I know I'm pretty late.
That being said, we have about less than 30 minutes.
We can do it.
We'll
just have to pause less. Yes.
Okay.
Unless we want to do some Q&As.
That's what I was thinking, right?
Bit.
Like if we want to answer some questions for chat.
What do you guys prefer? Do you guys want to do some Q&A, or do you want to keep watching
Part 2
this?
stream, please. Yeah, like we can always stream another time when we have more time, right?
Yes.
So like the more episodes we save, and that'll allow us to like take our time with it. I know it's kind of stinks to kind of just cut it off so soon, but then we can take our time. We don't have to feel rushed. We can do another Q&A and stuff like that. So, snow memories. Yeah, we'd like to do a snow memory stream on Twitch. We haven't gotten that set up yet, but we'd like to do something like that. We'll probably do something to the effect of like streaming on YouTube, just a screen that says we're watching anime on Twitch, so check the link below. And then on Twitch, we can watch Snow Memory. From what I understand, what we've been told, we can do that on Twitch, but we can't really do that on YouTube. So one more video.
Yeah, I'm seeing more for video, so
I'm just concerned, like this is 20 minutes long. We turned a 1-minute video into a 20-minute segment. I feel like we're not going to be able to get to the end of this. That's my thought. And then especially if we're pausing, and we'll also want to talk to the chat a little bit. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it is, but it's fine. This just gives us an excuse to have more ReZero streams. We can have a stream where, there's enough videos here and we yap enough that we could have a couple.
I didn't know there was that many videos. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One of these videos. I don't know why, man. We need to freaking shut up sometimes, because holy crap, dude. We could fill up like a 4-hour stream with just like 2 or 3 of these videos.
Okay, this is a great point. People are saying do the 10-minute Al cut content. Yeah, well, 100%. 100% we're going to do that. That's a great suggestion, chat. Very good, very smart.
Capella versus Al was a fight shrouded with quite a bit of mystery. Zero progress was made figuring out how to get rid of her.
Can you at least admit, George, that she's just the cutest thing?
I don't see the appeal.
Her unhingedness kind of just like adds some level of charm.
I don't like unhingedness, dude.
I don't typically like unhingedness either, but maybe I do. I don't know. Anyways.
Made figuring out how to get rid of her, and somehow Al came out completely unscathed.
Yeah,
if you're anime only,
somehow.
You may think that's simply due to Al being an incredible fighter, but what the novel hints at is something deeper. It doesn't outright tell you what it is, but the numerous clues make it extremely obvious. So let's just say Subaru might not be the only one with a special ability.
I clicked the wrong thing. Whoopsie. There we go. Yeah, we freaking called it. Just gonna say, absolutely.
That's the biggest difference from the fight we saw, and it's a core part of what I'll be talking about in this video. Let's get started.
Oh boy.
To start things off here in Crush's recovery room, Capella began by commenting on how disappointed she was in her. For someone possessing as much noble blood as herself, it was a shame she lost in her battle to the Dragon Blood. Of course, Felix only wanted answers, but the questions he asked certainly weren't going to be answered by her. No. Instead, Capella took this opportunity to mess with him, transforming into Crush, then taunting him into trying to kill her. This was significantly more stressful than what we saw in the anime, since rather than strike Capella while she was in her original form, Felix instead had to muster the courage to do so while she was Crush. There wasn't any particular reason as to why Capella was doing this, other than to kill time and check out a relationship she found rather intriguing. She did, however, slip that she was searching for what she described as collectibles, so that was going on in between all this little fun of hers. Now, it was when Felix was being held against the wall that he would actually fight back in a way that we didn't get to see in the anime. Somehow, when he was being pinned here, Felix had managed to explode Capella's arm in a way that shocked even her.
Okay.
Compared to the damage she'd taken in all her other fights, what Felix did here was fundamentally different. His attack had caused Capella's arm to wither away into nothing.
Ooh.
It's before Felix would get a chance to explain what that was, though, that Anastasia would then step in to scorch Capella's face next. It was the next step of a trap she set up, knowing full well Capella would come here. Knowing just how terrible of a person she was, Anastasia was able to read Capella like a book. She had leveraged the merchant tactics she normally used for negotiations, then applied them here to predict this as the route Capella would take. This was one of the core practices of being a merchant, since winning there often meant not letting your opponent do what they want, all while managing to do what you want. So it was essentially the same concept, just applied to the battlefield.
Yeah,
Needless
no kidding.
to say, Capella wasn't very happy, but before she could transform Anastasia into the worm she envisioned for her, she would instead find herself falling all the way down to the sewer network. It's here we get to see the true fight begin, bringing us to the showdown between her, the Archbishop of Lust, and Al. Much of their initial conversation was exactly as how we saw in the anime, except Capella would be a lot more heavy-handed with her provocations. She would start with the typical lust-filled comments that she usually did, only to get shut down as Al wasn't willing to go along with them. His approach was far different to those who Capella was fighting up above. I mean, the guy really sold the idea that he didn't want to be there right now. Al then tries to blame her for such an inconvenience, leading Capella to point out all the things that weren't her fault. Specifically the flooding of the city and the murder of those on the council. Al would of course deny any involvement, but Capella's attitude towards that led him to realize something about her was different. You see, in comparison to—
Wait, he was the one that killed the people on the council? Is that what I heard?
That's
or implied?
She alleged that? Yeah, it sounds like. Yeah, let's rewind just a touch.
That weren't her fault. Specific inconvenience, leading Capella to point out all the things that weren't her fault.
Okay.
Specifically the flooding of the city and the murder of those on the council.
Oh.
Al would of course deny any involvement, but Capella's attitude towards that led him to realize something about her was different. You see, in comparison to the archbishops he'd met before, the way she acted just wasn't the same somehow. Capella would then refer to each of her acquaintances in the most vulgar way possible, confirming the notion none of them were allies. Shortly after, she would make her first attempt at courtship, since no matter how much she was pushed away, Capella was the type of person to fixate on a love that persevered through everything. It was a one-sided desire to steal every bit of affection from someone. Her own twisted perception of true love. It's for this reason she's able to transform into the ideal form others prefer, since that's her way of expressing that love. She's able to see a person for everything they are on the outside, then devotes her entire being to satisfying the subtle needs that person expressed. Yes, it is technically exactly what that person desires, but the main problem with that is that it's only superficial.
Right.
On the surface, this may have been everything Al wanted, but it was the farthest thing from true love anyone could imagine. Now, Al's continued rejection would eventually lead to Capella's pursuit and her subsequent decapitation, where you might be wondering, what about her blood? Well, Al was well aware of the potential effects of getting any of that dragon blood on him, but that didn't stop him from walking right into it. Despite that blood showering everywhere from the stump nest he just created, zero hesitation was shown when it came to delivering the potentially fatal blow to her. It seemed he just didn't care what may come of it. So, Al would first carve out Capella's heart from her headless body, then explode the rest just like how we saw in the anime. The entire sequence was a three-pronged attack, each more lethal than the last. Even Capella was shocked by how mercilessly Al decided to treat her, leading her to ask if hurting people was an expression of his love. It's then that Al could only look on in aggravation as the rest of Capella's body regenerated from just her head. She didn't even need the parts Al painted the walls with, so whatever organs and blood remained there simply melted away into nothing. Capella was, however, curious as to why Al wasn't avoiding her blood, and that led to a response that was rather interesting. You see, though he didn't say anything entirely specific, he did mention how he was already aware Capella's blood wasn't a poison activated by simple contact.
Don't try to bluff me. I don't know what the requirements are, but I already know it's not some crazy poison that activates from simple contact. Yeah, I wonder why he knows that.
Dude, he's fought her before.
Yep.
Or come across her blood before or something. I don't know.
Well, he would fought, if he's returning by deathing, then he's fought her before to the capacity that he got hit by the blood, and then he died to something else, either the activation later, or, you know, to just something else. And then he reset, and then he goes, well, I know
this guy.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
It was a fact he learned by trying to dodge it before. This was a
Dude. Come on, man. Come on, show.
Could it be more on the nose? Like, really, though? Okay, I missed out once before trying to dodge all that.
Kill your answer for Capella to hear.
What are we supposed to think, dude?
Yeah.
Self-sense from what she could remember.
Okay. We don't know who pulled him to this world from Earth.
Right. We don't even know who pulled Subaru, do we?
I assume it was the witch because it had like her witch effect, but it hasn't been explicitly stated.
Right.
It's pretty implied though that it was a witch.
Right.
I mean, could she just be hedging her bets? Right?
No, he's got, it's unrelated, I want to say. I'm just going to go with he's basically a FromSoft character. He's a Dark Soul. He's John Dark Soul. He just resets. He just fucking goes through it.
But you think his power is totally unrelated to the Witch of Envy? You think it's another entity, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
It could be a divine protection, right? Like, it doesn't have to be from the witch. It could be a divine protection of, like, undeathing. Right?
I guess so, because Reinhard got a divine protection after he was here. It wasn't necessarily something he was born with. Some of his divine protections, like
you can get a divine protection at any time.
Fact.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, because in my mind, Return by Death, while it might not be the most OP authority in like the truest sense, it's effectively the most OP because you can literally reset a timeline. You can like undo everything that any other authority has done.
Sure, it's super OP.
Which in my mind, I know there's like gods out there, but if they never touch the world in like a meaningful sense, then like, okay, what's even their point? But like in my mind, she is at the pinnacle of power. But if there's another entity that is influencing Earth to the point of giving somebody else, like Al, a power as strong as Return by Death,
I mean,
like what's the point, right? Because like the Witch of Envy, we know she's trying to guide the timeline to her end desired goal, right? Wouldn't this other entity potentially be clashing now with Subaru and the Witch of Envy in that?
No, not necessarily. Because if the being that divvies out divine protections is ambivalent, ambivalent.
What are you trying to say?
If the being is just doesn't give a frick.
Check out these comments before you keep going. Only Reinhardt can get divine protections whenever. Everyone else gets it at birth. Divine protections are given at birth. Reinhardt is the exception. He can get them whenever he wants.
He can't get divine protections because they're received at birth. Al wasn't born on Earth. Frick.
So it's not a divine protection.
It's not a divine
It's got to be something else. It's got to be an authority.
Yeah, it's got to be an authority or...
What was the other one? There was like another one as well.
Yeah, curse?
I don't remember. Maybe chat. Maybe you guys can help us out. There's divine protections.
Authorities and...
Authorities.
Blessings?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
it's just
blessings.
The two. No, because it's divine
Maybe it's
blessings.
Just the two?
Yeah, I think it's just the two. No. Have you guys not been told about Odd Lagna yet? We have heard of Odd Lagna yet, but not in like a proper full detail, at least that we retain. So I know that Odd Lagna gives out the divine blessings, and they're basically kind of like hands off, other than like I guess with Reinhardt, right? So they're not really like influencing things one way or the other. But
Odd Lagna lore should wait until next season. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we haven't gone out of our way.
We'll avoid it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's fine. Okay, I don't know what the nature of it is. We don't know. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Remember, Al hadn't tried to dodge anything. It was then that Al would mention how that was from a time she wouldn't know about, possibly referring to something that's much, much bigger than this. It could also be a statement referring to anything, but considering all the similar clues that come next, it's very unlikely that such odd statements would all be coincidence.
Yeah.
In any case, the most important thing was that the neck, heart, and body weren't Capella's weak spots. That left only the head, but the thought of continuing the fight left Al exhausted. He was very much over this fight that he didn't want to deal with, along with something else that seemed to be bothering him. Though it's not explicitly mentioned in the anime.
It's got to be the stuff with Anastasia. No, he didn't learn that until after, so it couldn't be that. What would be bothering him? I'm not sure then.
It's clear from the beginning something a bit more discreet is weighing heavily on Al too. It's yet another mystery adding to the many currently surrounding him. It's then that the fight would continue, much to Al's displeasure, since not only was he starting to get exhausted, after the 20th lethal wound, Capella still showed zero signs of weakness. She had recovered from each exactly the same as all the others. Chunks of her body would simply melt away into nothing, while the core would regenerate no problem.
Right.
Capella would then ask how many more times it would take before he'd actually kill her, a question to which Al would answer with yet another peculiar response. You see, in addition to saying he wasn't sure if even...
Yeah, it's debatable whether they'd be able to kill you even after 100 deaths. Listen, we can basically conclusively just agree that he has some kind of return by death. Like, it's obvious, right? It's clear.
Even 100 deaths would allow him to do it. He also added how he was already pushing 50.
I mean, like... That's an outright admission, right?
Why can he say it? Why can he say he's had multiple deaths? If Subaru did that, his heart would be freaking crushed. Is it not from the Witch of Envy?
I don't know, George. I don't know. Why is the show like this? I don't know. It must be.
Oh my gosh, bro! Season 4 can't get here soon enough. I'm gonna have like a freaking heart attack trying to figure this out. All right, let's keep going.
Know. Okay. I speculated this. I think I was talking to some people in voice chat about this. I speculated that he has a device in his helmet that allows him to off himself at a moment's notice just in case he needs to. Or maybe he just uses, he has like a knife on hand that he uses, right? But he must have some way to reset himself on purpose because he doesn't really give a frick about dying, clearly, right? So he's John Darksoul. What does he care? So I think it could be something like, imagine if he had like a little knife switch or something. You flick a thing and it like lodges a fucking knife in your neck or something, right? And then you're just insta-dead, and then that's his way to reset, right? Like imagine like if he's able to like... get hit by an attack, right? So like an attack is coming, he tries to move out of the way and gets hit, but he's like not dead, he's just like badly maimed. Then you just fucking helmet mechanic off yourself, and then you're like reset back right to that
thick nail needle that like goes into the brainstem. Just
sure. A gun? Yeah, there you go. A gun. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. He's not saying return by death. Yeah, I mean, fair, but he's being pretty on the nose, to be fair. Yeah. Like, he's being really frickin' a meteor, a meteor or meteor. Yeah, true. He could have something like that. Every reader is grinning ear to ear. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
That's right. Al stated bluntly that he'd died almost 50 times already. Now, this could just be hyperbole, but considering his previous statement and the fact those words don't even make sense, it's starting to seem like Al may have powers similar to what Subaru does. I mean, how else would he have survived such prolonged battles against such powerful opponents?
Yep.
He even mentions dying like it's some event he's very much familiar with. In any case, The subsequent trap, which would leave
I remember
Capella
that one.
crushed, was what she considered an act of love due to how thoughtful it was. The way everyone spent so much time plotting all this for her reinforced her twisted belief that giving attention was the sole way of expressing their love.
Dude, she's so weird.
As the tunnel caved in and her body flattened, the only thing Capella could think about was how all this was for her. She couldn't help but blush knowing so much attention was given to her.
What a crazy
as much
girl.
of a hindrance as having one arm was, Al could actually swim quite well. The only problem was his helmet, but considering Anastasia was there waiting for him after, he couldn't take it off to empty the water inside of it. Once again, Al would hint at some untimely deaths during the process.
Like, it sort of feels like I was secretly crushed under... Oh, yeah, true. That was the crush
Then
comment.
proceeds to recount his battle of attrition with lust. Anastasia's magic would trigger some sort of red flag with Al, then Capella would enter the scene showing she was just fine. This much we got to see in the anime, but what we didn't see after was Al's inner thoughts taking the situation more seriously than usual. You see, for Al, Capella's power was the worst possible matchup for him. He doesn't explain why he thought that, but he did mention how it would have been better if she just came here to kill them. To him, the worst possible outcome was getting turned into flies or something.
Yup.
It's a threat I assume is dangerous to him for the same reason it's dangerous to Subaru. Luckily, Capella was done with what she had to do, so the three of them wouldn't have to fight like their lives depended on it. And that would be the end to their confrontation with lust. I wish I could explain more the influence of the gospel on her, but as Capella said herself, that was simply a guiding tool for her. The decisions she made were hers alone to make. She still had the freedom to choose her own course. Now, how Anastasia knew about it is a completely different question, but I'm very much curious as to why Al was so on the fence about her. There's clearly something else in play between the both of them, and that's part of the story I'm very excited to see come to life hopefully next season.
Okay, let's hope.
That's pretty much it for this fight. It wasn't the longest in terms of content, but it was certainly the most anticlimactic since no conclusion was given for anyone. Capella simply retreated and Al remains a mystery. The hints we got were quite telling though, so at the very least it's incredibly likely he possesses some sort of looping ability as well.
Yep.
We just don't know to what extent.
Yep.
But yeah, that's...
Okay. Yep. That's for sure. He loops for some reason. We just don't know what it's interesting to me. I think the most interesting thing to me is the fact that he's missing an arm.
Yes, that's really interesting. And it's not revival. It is in fact looping. We know, like, it's almost basically said here, which if it was just like he dies and he can, like, you know, resurrect or whatever, that's one thing. But no.
We'd see that. Yeah.
Yes, he
specifically loops.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't freaking know. I don't know.
Yeah, like the only two things that I can think of, maybe you can think of more, but it's another entity or it's the Witch of Envy. What are the odds that it's like another entity? That's what I'm trying to figure out in my mind, right? Like, is it and something else, or is it the Witch of Envy? She's like, I don't know.
Do we know?
Subaru, real quick, Subaru wants to defy the Witch of Envy. Right. Whether that's possible or not, we don't actually know ourselves right now. But let's just work under the assumption that it is. That even with her setting up all the checkpoints and all this stuff, wouldn't then the logical thing be, all right, I gotta like set up a couple of these because I want to get to timeline, you know, X, and we're in timeline G right now, and we got to do all these freaking things to get over there.
You're saying like set up a bunch of like return by death people to help you get to the timeline you want? No, I think specifically her infatuation has to do with Subaru specifically. That's why I don't think it has to do with that.
Yeah, there is that part of it too.
Right? And unless he is Subaru, right? Then that comes back to your theory then that would work, right? If he is indeed Subaru.
She takes Subarus from different chronological points in time on Earth, and she's just like plucks them.
It's possible. It's possible. It's also possible he's a descendant of Subaru, right? That she plucked from a different timeline or some kind of relative, right? So I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. Missing arm is explained in a side story. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, there's got to be some reason why he wasn't able to reset. But also, because like if there's limitations on his resetting, like it's like up to a certain limit, then like if he loses an arm and passes out and enough time has passed, then he's not able to reset all the way back. Or maybe the nature of how he sets up checkpoints, like he wasn't able to set up a checkpoint before then or whatever. So yeah, it's freaking his brother Toyota. Yeah, true. That's right.
That's amazing.
Actually, one red bullet. That's a good one. Holy frick. Yeah. Would you guys look into the if story? 100%. We have plans to do that kind of stuff. We don't have like a schedule for it, but we definitely have plans to look at if stories. I'm even more open to if stories than ever before, because this last month I've been listening to some Dragon Ball Z if stories about all sorts of stuff, and they've been very fun. So we'll definitely check out that kind of stuff in due time. We don't have an exact thing when, but some of them contain spoilers. Yeah, we'll be extra careful that we'll only look at if stories that like are going to be spoiler free and stuff like that. So we'll be methodical and make sure that we're being careful. So
yeah, if you ever react to videos about ReZero ifs, there's only 2 ifs that wouldn't have spoilers for the main story, that being pride if and greed if. So I'd recommend only reacting to those 2. Okay, good to know. Pride and greed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a Capella if. That's the one I'm sure that Prishkovich is suggesting to me. That'd be great. Yeah, well, okay. We only got less than 10 minutes left, everybody. If you've got some questions for us, it doesn't have to be related to ReZero, but give us an @TheAnimeClub just so we can see it. We will answer your questions rapid fire. Graham would love Lust. I mean, Capella, Lust, yeah. I mean, for sure.
Oh, bro.
Oh, the Lust if. Oh, yeah, for sure. 100% I would. I know it. Even without reading it, I know it's already my favorite.
This guy. Oh, boy.
George,
what have I got myself into, dude?
She's so cute.
What have I gotten myself into?
Come on, bros. All right, you know what? We're going to settle this once and for all. While you guys are typing up questions, we're going to go... Let's see. There's a thing here. Yep. Okay, start a poll.
Have you guys seen Vivi Fluorite's Eyes song? It's by the ReZero folks, and it is excellent. I have not. I didn't even know that was a thing. Vivi Fluorite Eyes song.
All right, here we go, everybody. We just have a very simple poll coming in here. There we go. It's a very important poll. It's very scientific.
Listen, dude, I don't care what the poll says. I only care what I think.
No, it's scientific data, George. You can't fight against it.
I'm sure she's going to win. I have no doubts about that. It's not going to change my mind. Sorry, George, we won't win this. Well, Anime and AMV Star, I am glad we are not alone, at least. There's more of us than I thought.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. I have not heard of that song, but that doesn't surprise me. You hadn't heard of it, is that right? Right. That doesn't surprise me too much either. I am not a big music guy. I basically never listen to music almost ever, unless it's like a 10-second looping song that I listen to incessantly for like literally hours on end.
Yes, I am fully aware of that.
Yeah, so there's that. George, I wouldn't really know a lot of Japanese-based music, so
yeah, not really.
Not too surprised there.
Rate the arcs so far.
I think we did. We did at the end of our season 3 reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I went...
I don't think we broke it down per season. We didn't break it down per arc, but we did... Yeah, I did 1, 3, 2 was
I think that's how I ranked it.
Yeah. What are you
looking towards?
I
ranked it for like different reasons, because I also really like the information into the most out of all the seasons. So it's kind of hard to like really rank order them.
Oh, we loved them all. They were all really good. It's just like... If we had to choose,
I'm just trying to remember like what I said. Yeah, I'm on your side, George. Thank you.
No.
the minority just looking at the poll right now, but at least
let's see.
more out there.
Let's end the poll and see. It is 70%. The Capella is the cutest. That's better than I expected. That's great, everyone. Tack to the Anime Club community.
Listen, you 29%. I don't know why it doesn't say 30. Like, this doesn't add up to 100, but
don't worry about
it. The 30% there, holding the line. Continue holding the line out there. Don't give up.
Yeah, okay. The other 30% are saying it's Ferris, so you got nothing, bro.
Oh my gosh.
What are you looking forward towards? Looking towards the most for season 4 after the battle heavy season 3? Answers.
Yes, information.
Answers, bro.
Information. I don't even necessarily need strict answers, but just information that I can maybe deduce my own answers, even if they're incorrect. But information. Just
enough information for us to be able to make like reasonable guesses at things. I don't want things to like be pulled out of thin air. I just want just enough information to have some good speculation and coming up with answers myself. That's probably one of the most fun parts about ReZero. What's your theories on what's going to happen the next season? Betty will sit on Subaru's lap. That's it. Like that's a guaranteed.
I'm pulling this out of thin air. I don't know how I'm getting this information, but there's going to be a really sus blue-haired girl that's hanging around the cast.
Oh my gosh.
And at the end of the season, she's going to betray them, and it's going to be the biggest cliffhanger that
happens. Dude, you're going to throw Rem under the bus like that? That's crazy.
It's going to be a littler girl than Rem. Not quite Rem. Okay. Rem's older.
Crazy. All right, what else we got here?
The show is called. Oh, I thought it was a song. Okay.
Oh, it's a song.
Idol turned Terminator cyberpunk stuff. Worth a watch.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I've not
seen
that.
Maybe worth a suggestion. Yeah.
Could happen at some point, though. You never know. What's next in place of Mushoku Tensei? Coming up next, there's no reason not to say it, I guess. Next up is going to be Uma Musume moving from the Wednesday slot to the Thursday slot. And we're going to watch a double season 1 finale for Uma Musume. Then we're going to watch a single, we explained this in the video, but we're going to watch a single season 2 episode at the beginning of season 2 because it's an odd ending. We're going to try and avoid going forward. Yeah, it's 13 episodes. We're going to try and avoid the triple episode finales. It's a lot to edit. It's kind of brutal, but with all the other stuff that we're doing and whatnot, and we want to have the availability to do other stuff as well. So it's kind of a tight thing. So we're going to have a single episode for season 2, episode 1, and then doubles for the rest in the Thursday slot. So
season 2.
Rem, I don't know who that was. Sorry, I just must have had a fucking brain aneurysm there. All right, we're trying to rapid fire through questions here real quick. Not necessarily the question, but I recommend the side story, The Crimson Countess and the Gladiator, if you want to know more about how If ended up with Priscilla. We'll definitely check that out at some point. I don't know if we'll do it right away because it's potential spoilers, but for sure. Opinion on the royal candidates and their knights. We talked about that a little bit last.
Yeah.
I think someone asked a similar question, but I'm
a simple man. I go with the protagonist, Subaru and Amelia. Number 1. But I really like Julius. I'm starting to like him more and more as a character as the story progresses.
For sure. I'm liking Julius a lot more as well. So I think the last scene in season 3 kind of endeared myself just enough to Julius that I'm willing to give him a shot. Yeah. He is basically a red mage, so that's pretty sick. It's like my favorite fantasy archetype, a red mage for Final Fantasy. So I got a soft spot for that. I like, my favorite combination is Felt because she's so cute, and Reinhardt because he's freaking cool and OP. So, that's my two favorite.
I like Reinhardt too. I like Reinhardt a lot, but
Reinhardt's way cool.
Yeah, I think Julius, because he's weaker, he might be a more interesting character. But we'll see what they do with him.
To answer your question, Deuce, that is who I would pick for the royal selection. We got to put Felt there to break the system. I'm assuming George would probably pick Amelia and Subaru. Yes. There's another question for the same thing. Royal candidates and their knights. Amelia. What's your opinion on the new character introduced in the last episode of season 3? You're talking about Julius? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. How do you think his condition will affect other characters?
Oh my gosh, stop. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Julius?
to answer one of the questions there, if I couldn't pick Amelia, it would probably be Krush. I like her whole, like, I'm doing it for the people spiel.
Yeah, populist.
So that's probably, yeah.
Populism is so hot right now, George. What do you think about our last remaining threats, Lust, Gluttonies, and Pandora? They're the strongest ones. So it makes sense that they're the last ones left. And Lust deserves all the good things that happened to her.
So, but no good things are going to happen to her. So what does that imply?
That's just false. You shouldn't lie like that on a recorded thing, George. That's crazy.
Okay, sure.
All right, well, I am going to cut us off here. George has to go for his anniversary.
Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. This has been wonderful. It's been a great stream. Thank you so much for tuning into ReZero.
Yeah,
there's a lot we didn't get to. I'm totally open for another stream, and I know you are as well, Graham.
100%. Yeah, we really do appreciate you guys showing up. I know the ReZero is like quote unquote finished on the channel, but there's been so much great support and outpouring of appreciation. We're sorry that it's a little bit shorter this time. I mean, it's been 2 hours. It's not like it's super short. But we'll have more ReZero streams guaranteed coming up.
Yes.
Can't say when. It won't be like forever in the future. It will be sometime in a reasonable amount of time. We're going to watch more videos, If stories. There's season 4 coming up. We got other stuff happening on the channel as well. Thank you. We have over 100 people pretty much the whole time. We had the stream watching. We really appreciate you guys showing up for that.
Yes,
sorry for everyone. If you watch the VOD and you're in probably the EU and this is like the middle of the night for you, this is just the only time we can really stream.
It's just, I'm in North America, Graham's in Japan. Like the time zones is like the only time where it's like not insanely late or insanely early for one of us.
Right. So it's morning for me. It's evening for George. It's the middle of the night for EU. So someone on the planet at some point is going to get left out. So regardless, but we appreciate
everyone.
At least there's the VOD. Yes, that's right. We appreciate it. It's been very fun. Come check us out on the Discord as well if you have more questions or just want to chat.
And check out the other anime. There's tons of other anime we reacted to. Yeah.
Yep.
And there's always like the community suggestions. They always pop up. So there's always
100%
something else coming.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
We'll see you. I don't have a button here. Oh, frick. I should have prepared this. No. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.